Got a lobster, you got it back yet. Lobster's a 10, I told you grab it.
I chop you all like in two, like like
What
the world in
I'm
Promised
so-
Neverland.
I got fucking.
I can't decide if I want to cut that out or not. I don't know. 50-50.
God, I just want to end this call right now.
Welcome to Lobster Magnets Review, the channel, the review. I'm here with my buddies Gorogregoro and Zazy, and we are here to talk about Chapter 48 of The Promised Neverland. Guys, what do you think? We got to see Scott. The manga god said that, like, okay, we agree with you. We think Songju's face mask looks stupid. So now we know he's got razor teeth.
Yay! Hooray! I just kind of wish the other one had razor teeth. I don't even remember their names half the time. I just kind of hate them.
Yeah,
Quite frankly.
So we've definitely, like, it definitely feels like we've been having mixed feelings, and this was not like a great chapter. This is definitely a transitional chapter, one of the strongest ones we've been seeing.
Yeah.
It was a lot of sort of like, let's reiterate the information we've already heard last chapter, even though we kind of already did it.
Yeah.
And then there was, of course, Don and, Gilda's like, what, we needed you to be concerned for yourself. Don't worry us. That goes for you too.
Oh my god. I feel like I just watched a filler episode of anime.
yeah, that's what it feels like.
I feel like I just watched one of those terrible fucking recap episodes, which is half the fucking reason I don't watch most of the series I bother with and just read manga instead.
It's just definitely like a lot of things that just sort of reiterated shit we learned last week, and then Gilda being like, if someone was to die, Scott, you say you want children death, I'd throw Gilda. I wouldn't mind seeing her get eaten.
Yeah, I'd actually be okay with that. I mean, before I just kind of wanted the children to die, but now I'm okay with named characters dying too. I would be really okay with the like super friendly demon suddenly turning evil and like eating maybe half the children. that would make me feel better about the series now.
Well, I don't think it's jumped the cliff, but it definitely feels. It hasn't, but there's definitely sort of like this sort of like that's not quite as cool as I would have liked. So you better introduce something cool soon.
This is as close to mediocrity as the series has gotten, and it's something I just would have kind of brushed over and kind of ignored out of another series. But it's one of those things where it's like, this doesn't feel as polished or tense and well written as some of the first couple episodes. And I mean, we already know the reason why. It's manga is produced in like a terrible and unsustainable sweatshop hell conditions. So it's
for
not like
only
I can
geniuses
really
like
blame
Oda.
anyone.
Where only geniuses can survive.
Yeah, it's not like I can really blame anyone, but I kind of just want to go up to Shonen Jump and just like whack them on the head with like a stick or something, and be like, "You had something good here. You had something truly beautiful, and you fucked it up."
Well, but still, we still haven't like jumped the shark. We just sort of like gone from like great into like, this is just kind of okay. Which you could argue like every manga cycle goes through.
It does. But it's like I was so impressed with the beginning of this series that when you showed it to me, it's like shotgunned like 50 fucking chapters in a weekend, just like devouring everything I could get my hands on. It was like some of the best work I'd seen in years, and I was really excited about it. Now we've kind of slipped down into like, okay, this is like B work.
The thing about this chapter, though, that it's not just a mediocre chapter, it's like a mediocre chapter about the whole world building for the entire universe of this manga. And it's very disappointing to me. I feel like it's a crash and burn kind of situation where about to witness.
Greg, you have not read U19. You have not.
No, he has a fucking point. Like I actually agree with Greg that like he's right. This is more of like the meaty world building stuff that should just make us fucking salivate.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now we're just kind of looking at it going like, I guess. Can we just get back to like the children being chased around by things with pointy teeth?
Yeah.
That's not the reaction I want to have. I mean, I
is
could
fair.
never not
That
be
is fair.
excited about children being eaten by
Like,
demons.
this whole
Let's be clear on that. I think I've made myself crystal on that. But I at the same time, I fucking love world building. I love a well written, believable setup that looks like time and care has been put into it. That is one of my like great joys in digging into a new series, is just finding out like the feeling that I could go from like, okay, well, what if I just got up from the table and started walking, and it would still be cool? What if I just like took a train, wandered off somewhere else, got off, started talking to people? And the feeling that I could do that is part of what draws me into fiction so much. And then we just kind of get this where it's like, God, for fuck's sake, can we just get back to like the weird murder vines, please? I like the weird murder vines.
Versus this sort of like anticlimactic. Everything's fine. We've just like been like this for thousands of years. They do their thing over there. We do our thing over here. And you know, nothing in particular.
I'm just like really disappointed that they had this whole build up for just something that was like so very lackluster to reveal.
Yeah, that's part of what's fucking killing me is we got like a bunch of chapter build up to like, oh no, who are these mystery people that are helping the children? What's it gonna be like? And we get these two fuckers, and I'm just like sitting there going, I don't give a fuck about these people. I should give a fuck about these people. I kind of just want them off the fucking page. Like, that's why I'm looking forward to the next chapter. Is I'm hoping they just leave.
Yeah.
But we learned about Songju's teeth. They're so scary. That's why he hides them from the little chillins.
Oh my god.
You know what I would love though, if they were just fucking lying about everything. If they were just lying.
There's that one teaser and that that fucking phrase, the garbly-gook imaginary Tifari, whatever the fuck that thing means, that like, well, they'll break the promise and become enemies of the blah 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 blah. And we don't know what blah 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 is, but we've seen that like lettering before.
All right, I have two important questions here. One, Christ, what the fuck is the other demon's name? Musica. Yeah, do you think she has pointy teeth? Because she isn't hiding shit. She's like all weird moe looking. It's creepy.
Yeah, she looks
She's
weird.
moe demon.
She's kind of sad, kind of creepy. And the second thing is, I hate to ask this. Does anyone else kind of get this like Home Alone vibe from the pursuing demons now? Like, they were terrifying and cool when they first showed up, but now it's just like,
now they can't find them.
Beggars belief, but it may well be that all of them survived. It's like,
yeah,
are you fucking serious?
You know what they?
Jesus Christ, they're like the wet bandits of things that want to eat children's brains.
I would. You know what? I would have liked if they didn't show any panels of those demons in the aftermath of
just
trying to find Ray.
Confused and standing around like a bunch of schmucks.
Yeah, they just like
it does not make them
really makes them underwhelming after that.
Intimidating. Like, all of just sitting here is just like, I just kind of see them sitting around like, so does anyone know where they went? Oh, how about you, Earl? No, I understand you're a lesser cast of demon, but I need you to stop sniffing your ass. I know you look like a dog, but you need to stop doing that.
Just stop licking. Just stop licking. Just stop licking. Jesus Christ.
Would have been better if they just like flashed
it.
If they wanted to like show a couple panels of like something else happening outside of their situation, they could have like showed some panels of like, I don't know, fucking
they find
Mama
hair or some shit from like Ray, and they get the scent.
Like, or just something
or
like
Phil.
A couple panels and them looking really pissed and like fanning out to search. That would have kept up the terror instead of just like, so did we find any corpses? Nope. Do we have any idea where they are? Fucking nope.
we found this writing on a tree. Do you know what it means?
I would have liked it. I would have liked it.
I mean, that is specifically the part that killed it for me. Is like, we found this tree writing. What does it mean?
I don't
fucking
know,
dude.
Yeah, that is definitely a way to like take them down from like terrifying, like inhuman Lovecraftian adversaries, just like.
Would have been better if they just didn't show him at all, like this chapter. Like, have the suspense build up a bit.
Yeah, that would have been fine too. I mean, these are supposed to be your terrifying nightmare creatures. Just having this weird horned monster just looking. I mean, I guess it doesn't really have expressions, but just the dialogue just going like, "Oh shit, my boss is gonna be so pissed. Oh god, I'm gonna have to file a report. I lost so much money today. Oh Jesus, that was like grade A quality meat. How am I gonna explain this to my wife if I get fired?" Which I guess kind of bleeds back into that like theoretical manga spin-off that I want.
I'm just
the kind of, like,
whole life
him
of the
coming
demons.
home and being dejected and his wife going like, "What's wrong, honey?" It's like, "Oh god, I lost some of the good product today. Oh no, I'm sorry. Yeah, my boss chewed my ass out for it." Do we have any bourbon? Sweetie, you promised. Yeah, I know, but I just, it was a bad day at work. You know I said I'd move back with my mother. Look, I just want to drink. It's been a hard day.
See,
The domestic
that would have been great.
They're like, fuck.
That actually, that would have been great compared to this chapter we got. Think about it. We need this to go in a slightly better direction right now. We need some random thing to cling on to. We shouldn't be clinging on to this storyline like so fiercely at the moment. I think we need some more random elements to this story.
Yeah.
We definitely need new iconography, and like Songju and Musica are leaving a lot to be desired. I'm not going to deny that. They're like not they're not like inspiring a lot of confidence.
Musica is really leaving a lot to be desired, especially off of that title page. Like, so far, everything else has kind of been, like, creepy or, like, disturbingly, like, cutesy and shit, but then we just have, like, the world cleaved in two, so we have, like, Emo on one side and fucking Musical on the other side, and it's just one of those, like, these are not the fucking characters you want to kind of show that split.
Yeah.
Oh wait, demon. It's not what you want. Like, couldn't you have had like one of those weird like dog demons kind of like curled around the stem of that apple or something? Or
Just looking vicious, or the giraffe demons.
yeah, or the giraffe demon or something. Literally anything except like the disturbingly cute demon that they will probably try and sell like figures of or something. It's literally anything else. Jesus, why is she so fucking cute? It's creepy.
Yeah.
You know,
Feels
this
a little.
You're not creepy. It's fucking irritating.
I feel
Yeah,
like
'cause she
the
goes
last
against
couple
the kind aesthetic.
chapters, like the terror of all the demons chasing the kids, just like quickly vanished. Like after all this was explained, and like, oh, they're in an underground tunnel system where no one can find us, and we're all happy dappy. We got this cute moe demon who's gonna explain everything to you, along with Sanju.
Yeah, Ray and Emma are being like adorably scolded by like children that should be running in terror.
Yeah, who should basically shut up because they're inferior, dumb children who are not as good as Ray and Emma.
I almost feel like
they're the fucking. They should be the fucking little ones from like fucking Lord of the Flies. They should just be like a faceless mass that like constantly does dumb shit, and the older people have to like kick back into line.
I just feel like the whole scolding scene was just, it felt really forced to me. Like
it was very stereotypical anime. It's like the kind of thing you'd see in fairy tale.
It like you said, Isaac, before, it was like, did you say it was like an episode of filler?
I think Scott was saying that. It felt very fillerish.
Okay,
It really did.
It was like filler, and it just like could do without that.
You know what?
It felt like it was trying to fill content for this week's chapter, and
yeah. You know what I would have been happier with, like really happier with. They could have stuck filler shit in there, but maybe instead of just like having them wander around going like, no, you need to take better care of yourself. we love you, meh, I'm a jackass. Instead, just like, please explain your fucking weird religion to me. Why is no one asking questions about this? Like, literally everything you've met so far is trying to eat your brain. I mean, literally trying to eat your brain. It's canon, they're trying to eat your brain.
Yeah.
These two are, like, the only people that are not trying to do this. Why has no one just gone, so, hey, can you tell me about your weird, like, demon Jesus thing?
your demon Buddhism?
Yeah. Could you please just explain what the fuck is going on with that? Are there more like you? Where are they? Like, are they trying to kill you too? Why are you down here? What the fuck are you doing?
What is your religion? How did it get started? That you're right. That is actually world building. I would be very interested to learn about.
That would have been, maybe I wouldn't have been thrilled with the chapter because it would have just been them walking down a tunnel. But Jesus Christ, it would have answered some questions for me.
Yeah, because it would have given you more of the demon culture and given you an idea as opposed to, just these...
And I can't imagine that is not something Ray or Emma would have been interested in, because that is, like, useful, pertinent information that might actually help you survive. Are there more of them? Can we find them? Because you guys seem to have been great about this. Even if they just, like, give us a place to crash for a night away from the giant murderous giraffe monsters. That's still useful information.
I personally think this chapter would have been better without any tunnel walking whatsoever. Without even Emma and Ray in the picture. I think we should have just, like, had a whole chapter dedicated away from this part of the story and more towards, like, maybe Phil. Or, like, we needed to distance ourselves from, like, what the fuck is going on here?
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
That is, like, the absolute last thing I fucking want to see right now. I like Scott's idea. I would love to learn more about the demon's religion and them walking around in the tunnels. We do not need to see Phil. Phil is irrelevant. Fuck Phil. I don't. That'd be the ultimate waste of time. The only thing I'd be interested to see is, like, if the culture of the farms, like, changes and the demons, like, up security or, like, reveal themselves.
No,
That'd be the only thing that'd be worthwhile.
The only thing about this chapter, though, that they did was just, like, scold Ray and Emma for being too dangerous, and, it was, like, review of, like, what the demons said.
They're basically just lame tertiary characters. They're not all that important. Well, I guess they're secondary characters. The little children would be tertiary, but I mean, the point is they're just. I'm not sure there's enough there to make them interesting, even if they tried. I mean, they tried doing that in the farm, and I mean, I think that's about as interesting as they're going to get.
Yeah, we like, there's this online thing in, like, the Promised Neverland Reddit where people are like, watch out, Phil's the Spectre, like, this sort of, like, kind of, like, insider joke where it's like, Phil is, like, the Jesus Christ Lord and Savior, Super
maybe
Saiyan,
Phil is,
Dark
like,
Overlord.
the alien name thing.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he's the black sky from, like, the Marvel Netflix shows that they keep on alluding to, but never explaining what the fuck it is. He's the Tifari whatever ceremony, any sort of bullshit. People love to joke about that, but, like, I don't want to see Phil. I don't care about Phil. Phil, that would be the worst thing that you could possibly do.
Yeah, Phil is the near and mellow of this show.
Like I love how the fandom has, like, started to, like, emerge around them, like, kind of like, I'm trying to think of, like, when a fandom emerges around, like, a tertiary character that nobody gives a shit about, like
Broccoli.
Yeah, no, Broccoli's a little bit more important than Phil.
Yeah, okay.
But wouldn't you like to see Big Mom, like, after everything that's happened, Emma and Ray escaping, she's just, like, more strict with their children, and she starts spanking them, like, she'll be spanking Phil. Just like a scene of her spanking Phil. Wouldn't you want to see that?
Okay,
No.
that fucking said, I mean, okay, it's like Dogtooth, but not nearly as important or interesting.
Yeah, no.
I just, like, think of, like, how does the Hunter x Hunter guy make, like, all these divergent storylines so interesting? And, like, I feel like something like that could be implemented in Promised Neverland to, like, maybe give a break from this current story thread.
Well, not quite. Like, Promised Neverland is like a vaguely post-apocalyptic setting. There's like very limits. Like the setting of Hunter x Hunter, there's an established society. It's contemporary. They have contemporary technology. The setup works much better in like because there's no real overarching goal that like Gon's trying to do. So like the sort of lackadaisical, we're going to go from this arc to this arc that have like nothing to do with each other, works much better for Hunter x Hunter. It would not work in the setting of Promised Neverland.
I don't know.
Okay, there is a way that you could make Phil and Gilda.
Oh wait, no, that's Don and Gilda. Phil's.
I'm sorry, Don and sorry. There is a way you could make Don and Gilda more interesting.
Well, what's your idea?
Okay, basically the way you would work this is obviously you can't have them run off on their own and do their own storyline. That's not going to happen. They die.
Yeah.
And the two people really holding the shit down is Emma and Ray. Okay, but every once in a while they leave. They basically fuck off and
like
do their
forage
own
for
shit because
berries
they
or
have to,
something.
because they're fucking important. Yeah, because they're basically important characters. Ray does it. Emma does it once in a while. So the way you would have to make them more interesting is not by trying to give them main character status. They're not going to be. They never will be. Okay, they're basically like B+ students when you're dealing with the GT A+ Emma and Ray. That's not happening. Okay, the way you make them more interesting is by making them domestic, by seeing them take care of the children, by basically giving them additional character traits that don't have to do with their intelligence, but have to do with their ability to care and nurture, because they're always the one stuck with the kids.
Yeah.
You basically show them being able to do that, and if you really wanted to make it interesting, eventually what you would do is, because Ray and Emma are always fucking off and doing stuff that's important, is have the children become more attached to Don and Gilda rather than Ray and Emma, because they're the two, even if they're not as smart, even if they're not always making the plans, even if they're not always rushing in at the last minute to save everyone, they're the ones that are always there feeding them, taking care of them, putting bandages over blisters and shit like that. So eventually what you would do is the kids start hero worshipping Emma and Ray as more of like, they're heroes, they're cool, but they're not really going to be as emotionally available, but Don and Gilda are.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and they're basically the substitute parents. And then you would start having stuff like where maybe Ray and Emma are feeling guilty about that, or they're jealous because before they were always friends, they were always around the children, but now basically by virtue of they need to be leaders and they need to constantly make these decisions, and they basically need to spend time away from everyone else, they're growing distant.
That is actually a good story conflict and would make Don and Gilda much more richer, and you could like really have some thematically rich stuff where like there's some sort of crucial point and they want to vote on it, and Emma's like super certain that they need to do this dangerous thing, but Don and Gilda are like, no, you can't risk our lives for this, and then the kids like they sort of like take away power and control from Emma and Ray.
And the thing about this,
I'm not even sure I would make it a conflict. It would just be like kind of like an emotional point where it's like they love the children, but they're sad because it's like, well, you're a leader. You can't. Sometimes you have to do stuff that will make people sad or make people unhappy, or maybe even put people at risk. And you can't always baby people to get what you want.
Right now, there is no like conflict sort of building up between Don and Gilda versus Emma and Ray yet. Like they're all just like so happy, lovey children right now. It's just like showing a different side perspective, like what Scott was saying, but even that, it doesn't feel as interesting as, maybe there should be like some kind of schism between the children to mix things up a bit. But now, I just don't see it. I don't see how they can do that.
Like, honestly, the way you would have, like, you would kind of show that is, like, something terrible happens. Ray and Emma kind of resolve the problem as usual. and basically the children all go running to Don and Gilda for comfort because they're the ones that take care of them.
That would be that is actually a really interesting conflict, and you could use it to like pad out some of the like, you know, let's say, oh my God, there's this incredible cliff, and then we need to spend 3 days to make this tools to climb up it, and then you could like sort of like show that to like dramatize the parts as they're like preparing to get over the cliff and show that passage of time while still keeping it more dramatically interesting.
Okay,
Exactly.
Okay, I got something that I got a story on that'll fix this manga. All right, hear me out. Okay, so it turns out the two demons were lying the whole time, and you know they gave false information. They were leading Emma and Ray to another farm somewhere, and or they're like bounty hunters or some shit. And so Emma and Ray realize this before the other two demons do, and they murder those two demons in their sleep. And Don and Gilda are just like, how could you fucking do this? And in front of the children,
what is
too.
wrong with you?
And in front of the children. And then we cut off from that storyline for a while, and we go on to something new for a little bit. So we can have, like, some semblance of, like, time passing by until the next time we see Ray and Emma and the rest of the kids.
You know, originally I'd say that's stupid and dark and edgy and dumb, but you know, I like the idea of like just Emma being forced to like slit Songju and Musica's throat,
Yes.
and then they just sort of look at them with like these eyes to asking them like, why did you do it? And
Yes!
Emma just has this like terrible look in her eyes of she's like, "Ah," because she's not a murderer in her heart.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't mind seeing that.
I'll be honest, I just kind of see Ray just like stabbing the shit out of motherfucker.
Yeah, that's one thing I do miss. I miss cold, calculating Ray. He's kind of softened ever since the death of Norman, because, like, you know, he had to, like, fill that warm vacuum that Norman used to occupy.
Yeah, it's like, I just kind of see Ray, just like, the children wake up and like, oh my God, you killed them! Shut the fuck up, they were evil. Go back to sleep.
So
Yeah.
after that happens, I think that could be the catalyst for creating a schism between the children, and we'll have a break from that storyline and sort of like build up that tension. And yeah, I think that would be a great way to save this series right now.
You know,
Alright,
Greg, so normally I think your story ideas are terrible, but that's actually not a bad idea.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. Alright, so what are we gonna give this?
I give it a 6.
Ugh.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but I'm gonna give it a 6 too.
I'm gonna be a little less generous. I'm gonna give it like a 3.
I think that's a little ridiculous. Like, I don't think
that's
there's
a little
anything
much. I mean,
defensively wrong.
the fucking boxing king from One Piece got a 3.
This was a whole waste of time. This whole chapter was a waste of time.
I've seen worse waste of time, Greg, man.
Yeah, I
You've
mean,
seen filler.
oh God, I don't even remember the name of the
It was like a
the manga.
recap chapter. It was like
It was.
the kids
Okay.
were like, "Okay, let's break down. Okay, so let's repeat what the demon said. Okay, he said this. He said that.
All right,
okay, we gotta do
Greg
this."
is actually convincing me.
What?
This is a fucking crazy upside down world. Great. You know what? I'm gonna have to lower this to like a 5. I'm not gonna go so far as 3 because Jesus Christ, I've seen so much worse.
I was considering
But
4, but
I was gonna say, but in the context of the series, yeah, I'm gonna give this a 5. This is the worst chapter I've seen so far, and it's a little sad.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I'm not going to lower my score. I think 6 is like, you know, thoroughly in the realm of mediocre. When you go to like 5 and like beyond that, that's just like, you know, how much did it make me angry?
But hey, it's not Stan Lee's comic.
Yeah. It's not
Jesus, what was
Stanley's.
that called?
Which fucking one?
The manga. Christ.
Oh God! Ultimo?
See, that gets like in the 2 and 3 range. That's about where you want to be. That terrible anime we watched, that one con, where the kid has the ability to like recycle things. That's a superpower.
Sure.
That gets like a 3 or a 2. That's kind of into the territory where I just look at it and go, I feel like I'm going to die one day, and that is time I could have spent doing something else. That is time I could have spent, like, folding laundry, and I hate you for that.
I don't know. This is like, you know, when I'm comparing manga, like I said before, it's like, it's always in the context of, like, what the series is and, like, how the series has been going so far. Like, I felt like in the beginning we've been being fed, like, very fine wine and caviar for, like, this whole series. And, you know, like, after they escape the prison, it's just like, oh, it's just like, we're eating fancy bread from, you know, foreign countries and stuff, and this is still pretty good. I'm still liking this. And then we meet the other demons, and they're just like, oh, okay, it's just like slightly less good quality bread. It's a little bit harder. It's, you know, it's not as soft.
Hey, this is nice bread from, like, the grocery store. This isn't terrible, but hey, it's okay.
And then, you know, this chapter was just like really hard, like unchewable fruitcake that you get for like some holiday season.
Fruitcake. Suck a dick.
No, this is like
Hey,
fruitcake you can't even bite into. This is like
Yeah, okay. All right, fine. Hey, look, at least it's not Mad Dog yet, okay?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Mad Dog?
Not fruitcake.
Mad Dog. It's like, it is like the cheapest, most terrible wino kind of wine.
Oh, I see, yeah.
It's not Mad Dog 2020 yet, but I mean, this is probably boxed wine.
Yeah, it's definitely like, you know, a lower grade than what we've been getting. It's interesting, Greg, you know, because like, you know, the other infant series that we've been following, good old Dr. Stone, also had a similar drop in quality, and we both were like, kind of like, ugh. But then it kind of like has been like, you know, getting a little bit better. And so how would you compare, you know, the trajectory we've been seeing in Promised Neverland versus what we've seen so far in Dr. Stone in its you know, very infant run?
Well, Dr. Stone seems like it's getting back on the right track right now. There's still that possibility that it will dip down that I've seen is like concerning and has let me have a little less faith in Dr. Stone. This is a trajectory for Promised Neverland. Is like has me really concerned about the series, and I feel like this is, you know, give me a lot less faith for Promised Neverland after these last two chapters.
I mean, if you're an alcoholic, I mean, the box wine will still get you trashed, but hey, I mean, I'd rather be drinking something else.
I still don't think it's jumped the shark, but it's definitely like a dip in quality.
No, it hasn't. I mean, again, it's not to the point where you, like, wake up beside a train track or something, wondering where you are. But I mean, this is still one of those situations where it's like, did I just buy bulk wine from Walmart? Why did I do that?
And why did I water it down with tap water?
If you water it down, you get more.
Oh my god, that should totally be the shilling. Box wine from Walmart.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
We're done. Boxed wine.
Box wine. Buy the boxed wine is what we're going to be offering from Amazon.com. Buy it in the description below. Boxed wine. It is mediocre. It'll get you drunk. Just like this chapter of Promised Neverland might satisfy you, but not really.
But make sure you add tap water so you can get more.
Just remember, it's boxed wine in a cardboard box. It's not a plastic bottle you bought from the liquor store in a bottle about that tall. So you're still okay.
All right, so thank you for watching this review. We had a lot of fun discussing our disappointment. Will next week be better? Will Promised Neverland rise from the heights of its potential, you know, dove's tail into mediocrity? Tune in next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. And remember, Lobster's antennas, but don't you grab it.
I fucking hate you.
Lobster's made of lights.